Hey guys, ForTheAfro Reviews here, and today I'll be reviewing Chapter 174 of My Hero Academia. And we got another really school-based chapter. Obviously, we're in the cultural festival arc, so let's get right into it. So this chapter begins with a kind of explanation of why Deku got quote-unquote fired, and Mina kind of more meant, rather than fired, he got recruited by the staging team. So he's still going to be dancing a little bit, but he also has to help out the staging team. He's kind of like Aoyama in the sense where he's on both squads. He'll be helping Aoyama, move around and stuff because I think that he'll kind of like stagnate if he comes and does the disco ball. Everyone will be like, whoa, cool for a second, and then kind of get tired of it. So they want to like move around and do a bunch of crazy stuff, and that's Deku's job apparently. He at first was very reluctant because he told Eri he'd be dancing, and he really wanted to uphold that. And he says that since he'll still be dancing at least a little bit, it's all right. But he looks kind of disappointed, and I'm a little disappointed in my theory of him just being a terrible dancer. It wasn't true, because that would have been funny to see someone help him out and him get really good by the end or something. But, what are you gonna do? I also really like how Kirishima was like, he felt genuinely bad for asking Deku, because he knew he was already on the dancing squad, and he's just like, you're a real man for helping out, when he said, yeah, like, Kirishima's great. He is a cinnamon roll, just like Todoroki. No one can tell me different. So next we cut to Deku's training, actually, at 6:30 a.m. It turns out that because his schedule's so packed with, like, school and practicing for the cultural festival and stuff, that the only time he has is before class. So, Deku probably doesn't get a lot of sleep, and he spends his entire day doing stuff. What a productive lad. You see him, with full cal already activated, and him, you see, like, a wind gust, so obviously he's been shooting off the back blast with his fingers and whatnot, and, All Might's like casually like, oh yeah, you got some internal bleeding going on there. Super casually. The casual internal bleeding. Normal stuff. You've got an ice pack on it or something. So Deku's still having some trouble, but it looks like he's doing better. Like, I think he's getting the hang of it, but he's asking for some tips still because he's not quite getting it. It's not quite practical enough to use in actual combat yet, but at least his fingers aren't completely destroyed like they used to be. So, he's definitely making progress is what I'm trying to say here. All Might's advice to Deku was just that, to get an image in your head and, figure out the feel, because he just has no clue how else to tell him how to do it. He got graphed to 100% so much quicker than Deku did. So, the recurring theme of All Might not being the best teacher is continuing, but he's really trying. You can see that All Might is attempting to, be a better teacher. It's just, he doesn't know how, It's like, it'd be like someone asking you, hey, how do you move your arm, And you're just like, I don't know, I just move it. Just think about moving it, and then it moves, and then that's what it does. It'd be kind of hard to explain, I guess you probably could if you put a little more effort into it, but you guys are getting what I'm saying. It's a little weird to explain when you're just such a natural at something, and that's the problem All Might's facing. And I hope we see him get a little bit better as Deku handles more of his power. Maybe he has a little bit more detailed explanations for how he can really, some tricks and stuff, how he can handle that power. While Deku was kind of mulling all this over in his head, thinking about it, we actually see some bushes in the background. They're rustling and whatnot, and then a weird ball, badminton-looking thing flies out really quickly, and All Might, being the badass he is, just catches it. No difficulty. Obviously, he doesn't have one for all or anything anymore, but this proves that his reflexes, his reaction time, is still there. So, I don't know, I feel like that's really relevant, and actually leads into a little theory I personally have, to get on a little tangent here. At some point in the series, I want to see All Might be in a fight without One For All at all, Maybe his muscle form's still there for like a second, but not to the point where he can punch someone and it actually hurts them just because he's in muscle form. Like, have him win a fight based on brains alone, and have him remember the promise he made to Deku's mom about how he won't die, and he'll be there for Deku, and have him win a fight that he should, he thought maybe this is it, I'm gonna die, but he wins anyway. That's something I really want to see. So seeing that his reflexes are still there, and that, that portion of him wasn't connected just to One For All, that all of his abilities weren't tied to that, really cool. I'm glad Horikoshi put in that little tidbit. I went to 2 panels, and it meant a lot to me as a reader. So it turns out the person who launched this little ball thing was Hatsume Mei, who else to be launching weird gadgets around at 6:30 in the morning. Deku is immediately worried that, she'll be like asking questions about why he's training with All Might all alone so early in the morning, but she couldn't care less. She's in her own little world. So it works out pretty well for him, and even better, working out even better for Deku this early in the morning. She's talking about how, yeah, so that thing you requested for your costume, I was going to do it after the cultural festival, but I already had something that functioned kind of similarly, so I just tweaked it a little bit, and yeah, I'm an overachiever, so it's going to be done soon. I'm really excited for the next iteration of his costume. Seeing the functions that he can do with it, because it's supposed to complement his new technique, so maybe it'll like amplify the wind pressure, or maybe control how he sends it out, I don't know. He should do something pretty creative, because Deku's a smart guy. This is when we get mentioned that All Might himself actually used to use support gear, which is surprising to me. If he would immediately handle 100%, why you would need that? But I guess maybe it's because, although he could handle 100% and had a good grasp on how to use it immediately, maybe he had problems dialing it down a little bit, and that's what the support gear was for. Not sure if that was clearly stated, a little confused on why he would need the support gear in the first place. That's the only real reason I could think of, so, yeah, so he used to use it, it looked like a mecha suit almost, but it turns out that since he fought at close range most of the time, it just ended up getting in the way, getting broken and stuff, and it was more suited for like mid to long range fighting, so he did not keep it around for that long. And because of this fact is actually why Deku doesn't know about it, although he's a mega nerd and usually he would know about such a thing. All Might proceeds to warn Deku not to become a hero who relies on his support gear. He's seen far too many heroes who can only fight with their support gear, and once they lose that, they can't utilize their powers properly. And this sounds like Aoyama. This sounds like directly like, hey, don't be Aoyama. Which is kind of sad because I like Aoyama, but I think maybe this is like foreshadowing for Aoyama to actually move past this. Maybe Deku will be the one to say, hey, I know you rely on your belt here, but maybe there's a way you can get around that or something. All Might himself was telling me this or something like that, you know? Because I want to see Aoyama progress and become a better hero. And this advice that All Might's giving Deku directly correlates to Aoyama also, who we just got some mention of. So I think maybe this could be relevant even in this arc. I don't see exactly how, because I think it's going to be a more school-related arc and have less fighting, but yeah, who knows. Horikoshi is pretty crazy. So after Deku's training scene, we cut to a scene at the dorm with everyone, you know, after practice and whatnot. Kaminari and Bakugo are arguing, and Jiro is getting complimented by Momo because she's teaching Kaminari so well, who was a novice beforehand. Like, I thought he had a little bit of skills with guitar, but no, he had none apparently. So, that's pretty cool. I mean, it'd be kind of hard to teach someone how to play, like, in a band in a month, so I'm impressed. I'd be pretty impressed by Jiro. And Jiro mentions that Momo's tea smells delicious, and Momo gets that really cute face she gets when she's really excited about something, and is talking about how her mom got this tea. It's called Gold Tips Imperial, I believe, and it's like some kind of super nice tea that is only available at some places, and everyone loved it. Uraraka is going to bring over Deku some tea because she's best girl, and kidding aside, she's going to bring over Deku some tea because she's a nice girl, you know, just like trying to share the tea, and Deku is over there freaking out trying to find, you know, some footage or like some pictures of All Might in his support gear because he didn't know about it. He was like ashamed of himself for being such an All Might nerd and not knowing about it. So that was a funny little moment. And then when Uraraka comes over, he like accidentally clicks a video about tea, and they're like, oh wow, what a coincidence, that works out really well for having tea. And then it turns out to be a video by Gentle, like his newest upload. The video basically is Gentle saying he has tea before and after all of his crimes and his jobs and stuff, and the grade of tea is dependent on, you know, what he does, and yeah, so that's really it. And he's like, I'm drinking some really good tea, so I'm about to do something really important. Be ready for it. And funnily enough, he has a 0 like 785 or something like that dislike ratio, and that is insane. I thought like my first Attack on Titan video having like 0 likes and 5 dislikes was bad. I was like, oh, that kind of sucks for a while at least. And then I see this, I'm like, oh, I feel much better about my own YouTube career now. Oh my god, Gentle is a funny character for me just because I'm so new to YouTube and he's all about YouTube. And he's like, you know, in the first arc I'm really reviewing, a YouTube villain is the villain that it's never going to cease being funny to me. But yeah, the video is doing terribly, and even Deku like mentions like, wow, this is really bad. I also find it a little funny that Deku knew about him a little bit, not a lot, but he did know like who he was and that he puts out videos with some petty crimes and stuff. So Deku being a knowledgeable guy, kind of showing up again, probably just surfed the web or whatever, because that isn't really a super knowledgeable thing. But either way, he knows about this, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Next, we get a big scene about Gentle talking about this giant plan, how he's going to sneak around and stuff, and it's basically all to get to a tea house. We think he's talking about UA, but he's talking about a tea house, and then he says, from this tea house, we're just gonna rub some dirt and leaves on us, and then go to UA from here. It's like a short hike from the tea house. So that's absolutely hilarious. It's completely subverted my expectations of like, wow, he actually has a pretty detailed and ready plan for this. But it was for tea, which isn't understandable since he always drinks tea before he does stuff. But come on. But it turns out he's going to drink Golden Imperial Tips or whatever it's called. The Golden Tips Imperial? I don't know. The good tea that Momo has is what he's going to drink. So he's going to be going to this tea house that is basically one of the only ones with it, and it only has a couple regulars and stuff, so it's really good for him. And my thoughts are that Deku, who has had the tea now, is going to be up really early training with All Might, and it was stated that the tea shop opened as early as 7 a.m. So I think that what's going to happen is that when he's done training with All Might on the day of the cultural festival, there probably won't be any class that day, so he won't have anything to do right afterwards. They'll probably be like, hey, All Might is this good tea shop that has this tea that Momo had or whatever. They'll go to that tea shop and they'll see Gentle. I mean, I don't think they'll have it'll be solved, the confrontation will resolve there or anything. But maybe just a little bit of setup or foreshadowing, or Deku sees something, maybe he sees La Brava, or he notices Gentle and tells All Might. I don't know. A lot of stuff can happen, but I think that's how that's going to tie in, because otherwise, why would they both be drinking the same tea? I don't know. The fact that it was mentioned how early the shop opens, that we got a shot of Deku training before that time, and that Deku has now had the tea, I think that's all going to tie together. It was also mentioned that La Brava would be the one disabling all of UA's sensors and stuff, so a lot of people are thinking she might have some kind of tech-related quirk, hacking quirk or something, and as much as I think that would make sense, and I can definitely see that happening, in fact, I think it's almost certain at this point, I hope it isn't true. I hope she's just good at hacking. I don't want everything in the My Hero Academia world to be chalked up to a quirk, Bakugo is good at a bunch of random stuff, but it doesn't mean they all relate to his quirk, you know what I mean? He's good at cooking, remember, in the camp arc where he was cutting up stuff and he was doing a really good and delicate job, and everyone was like, wow, I didn't expect that. Yeah, Bakugo is just good at that, just something random, Mina, he's good at breakdancing, just totally unrelated thing. That has nothing to do with her quirk, she just can breakdance. Basically, I don't want La Brava's quirk to be her only thing within her skill set. I want her to be more versed than that. But if this doesn't turn out to be true, I'm not going to be that disappointed. It's what I'm expecting her. I'm expecting her quirk to, be hacking related and stuff. It just makes a lot of sense in the context of the series. Next, we get a really actually heartwarming scene between La Brava and Gentle. He's recalling when he first met her and stuff, and she creepily found him. He was posting videos and stuff, but she hacked and found where his address was. Super creepy, but it turned out to be okay because they ended up being really good friends and whatnot. And they have this really sweet moment where he's like, "You've helped me so much. I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for you. All the views and stuff I have got were because you helped me. So thank you." And and that's heartwarming. These guys aren't villains, let's be real. Criminals, yeah, sure, whatever, minor criminals, but they're not villains. This is heartwarming stuff, guys. This is heartwarming stuff. I don't care. I don't even like La Brava that much, to be completely honest. And my heart was touched. I love Gentle, though. Gentle's great. Gentle states that he's going to put his entire soul into this, and that, he's going to, answer her devotion, with being successful and, stuff. And that's where this chapter ends. So, that's it for this chapter, guys. I pretty much stated everything I wanted to already. Like, comment, subscribe if you liked the video, and if you're still around, I would greatly appreciate it. And until next time, guys, see ya!